Hey guys, it's a new Kimmie here. She's got new hair, she's 10 pounds lighter, she is cruelty free. And she refers to herself in the third person. See, I knew when I bought these at the dollar store, I would find a reason to wear them. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I am Kimmie, guys. I'm so glad you are joining me. I know it's been a minute since I posted anything. I think the last time I posted, I was working overnight. No, I did not need an entire month to recover. Just some things going on. I did take a break from YouTube. And before we even get into the video, I do want to say, going forward, I've made a decision. Not just that I'm going cruelty free, which I am, but going forward, I am also going to be posting a video every Wednesday. This is something I have never done before. I've always just kind of posted whenever I could, and sometimes it came out to 3 videos a week, sometimes it came out to 2 videos a week, 1 or none. I think on average I would do like 2 videos a week, but it's hard and it's killing me. It really is. I don't know if you guys watch Michelle's Everyday Glamour. She just released a video about how it's really impossible to like keep up with like beauty YouTubers, and she was like gonna change her channel around. She's 100% right, and this channel is also gonna be changed around for very different reasons, but it's really hard. And if you don't do it full time, like I have a job, this is my hobby and I love it, but I also hate when it becomes like stressful because it is a hobby that I love, and I find that when I try to post too much, that's exactly what happens. So I think I'm going to going forward, post 1 video a week and do that post on Wednesday. I think that's going to help me get organized. It's more realistic for me, and it's going to be much easier for me because I will be posting 1 video. So going forward, every Wednesday, from this Wednesday forward, you can expect a video from me. With that, guys, today's video, I'm sorry, I have like a rash on my neck, and I don't know what the hell it's from. I get a lot of people like emailing me and asking me questions because I do have a nickel allergy about like different products. If this has nickel, if that has nickel, they can't figure out where it's coming from. And a lot of the times I would answer back, as far as I know, no, like I've never had that, and as far as I know, that product doesn't have nickel, doesn't have iron oxides. I can't imagine that it would. You look on the ingredients and there's nothing. But yeah, me too, guys. Lately, it's only happened, I was saying, like the past 3 months, where I have been also breaking out in these random, like this one, like dermatology, and like these random, like, yeah, like breakouts or like rashes. They're painful. I know it's from my nickel allergy, and I cannot figure out where the hell it's coming from. So I feel you guys. I don't know. I don't have an answer. I don't wear jewelry, like, for that reason. Like, you watch my channel, you know I rarely wear jewelry, and that's because of my horrible nickel allergy. But yeah, I have no idea. I'm starting to think there's just traces of nickel in everything, and it's just like almost unavoidable. So, which is a bummer, but I'm still gonna try. I'm still trying to get to the bottom of it, guys. I am still trying to get to the bottom of it, so we'll see. But for today, yes, guys, I am talking about going cruelty free. So maybe you clicked on this video because you are also going cruelty free, or maybe you're not, but you're thinking about it. You know, you're not there yet, but you're thinking about it. You might decide you want to, and you just want to see like what it's all about. Or maybe you just love my videos, guys. Nothing wrong with that. Whatever the reason, I am so glad you're here. Today, basically this video is going to be in 3 parts. The first part, I'm going to talk to you about why I decided to go cruelty free. The second part, I'm going to talk about what it means to be cruelty free. And I know some of you are probably like, well, that's kind of self-explanatory, isn't it? And I would have thought the same thing last year or a couple of months ago even, but to be honest with you, it's not. There's so much gray area when you're talking about going cruelty-free products and going cruelty-free. It's not just this or that or whatever. It's like so much like in the middle. So I'm going to talk about like more of like what that means to be cruelty-free. And then in the last part of the video, I'm going to talk about what that means for this channel and what it means and what it doesn't mean. What it means and what it doesn't mean. So with that, guys, let's go ahead and get started. So first, guys, going to talk about why I decided to go cruelty-free. And let me just say, I am on a cruelty-free journey, okay? I'm in the process. That's what I would say. I am in the process of going cruelty-free. I'm not really there yet. I'm just, like, on the journey. So I have a huge collection. It's not something that you really do overnight. I have a huge collection. I'm still learning about different brands. This brand is cruelty-free, this brand's not. What can I replace it with? What other brands are out there? So yes, this is like a journey. So I am in the process of going cruelty-free. Why? It's not something that like you decide like overnight, or that I decided overnight. I've been thinking about this for quite some time, that I wanted to go cruelty-free, but I just never did. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you, like I always am. The reason that it took me so long was very simple. I did not want to give up my favorite brands. Easy. Unfortunately, look, it's come a long way. I think there's a lot of cruelty-free brands today, a lot more than there were even a couple of years ago. But the fact of the matter is, the head honchos, the ones that own everything, you know, the really, really big brands, for the most part, still test on animals. But there's a lot that don't. There's a lot of choice out there if you are looking for cruelty-free products. And a lot of brands that were testing on animals aren't anymore. There are a lot of brands testing, coming over, and I'm going to talk to you more about that at the end of the video. But yeah, that was like kind of the reason I didn't want to give up my favorite brands. And then I was starting this YouTube channel, and I was like, well, how am I going to have a beauty channel if I can't use like this, and I can't use that, and I can't review this, and I can't review that? So I kind of put it on the back burner. That changed this year. So what happened in the past year? The past year is what really made me think about it more and a lot more seriously. What happened in the past year, I had animals in my home. So I always had a love for animals. I've always liked animals, but again, be 100% honest with you, I didn't give them that much thought. Like I just didn't think about them that much. This year, it changed because I fostered a dog. For those of you that watch me, you know I fostered a dog and then I got one. So this was the first year I actually had like animals in the home, and that kind of put a different, like gave me a different point of view to it. And then after that, when I started to research it a little bit more, when you do research cruelty-free on the internet, it's almost unavoidable that you will come across articles and videos about the experiments that are done on animals. And to say it's just disturbing in the least, okay? It's not something that I recommend that you do. It's definitely not something that I'm going to talk about on this channel, but seeing it kind of sealed the deal. It kind of sealed the deal. Look, I work in science. For those of you that watch my channel, you know that I do work in a laboratory. I do not work in research. I work on the diagnostic side. So basically, if your doctor is testing you for something and they send it out to the lab, I'm the one that does the testing. But I have been in the industry long enough to know a thing or two about research. And I know that it's a very hot topic. There's a lot of ethics that come into it and a lot of heavy opinions. But when we're talking about beauty products, hair, makeup, skincare, there is no reason, none, to test on animals. That's how I feel, okay? That's how I feel. That's not how everybody feels, okay? And that's not how everybody feels, but that's how I feel. And because that's how I feel, that's what I'm doing, okay? So that's the direction that this channel is going to be taking. I have decided to go cruelty-free with all of my beauty products, and I am standing by it. And if that means that I can't use this or I can't use that, you know, no more L'Oreal, no Revlon, no, you know, etc., so be it. I really don't care. It's not a big deal to me. It's just not worth it. So, what does it mean to be cruelty-free? So obviously, yes, it means that the brand does not test on animals. But here's the thing. Being cruelty-free can mean different things to different brands. And that's where there's a big gray area. And if you're thinking, well, how is that possible? Very, very simple. And this I didn't realize until a few months ago when I would say about 6 months ago, I really started looking into going cruelty-free. It's not regulated. It's not regulated. So what that means is that if I don't test on, I have a brand, I don't test my products on animals, I'm going to say I'm cruelty-free because I don't test my products on animals. But there's a lot of questions there. Okay, there's a lot of questions that you have to ask. You don't test your products on animals, but do your suppliers? Is there any way up the chain, anywhere up the chain where those ingredients were tested on animals? Do you pay a third party to test on animals? Just because your brand doesn't test on animals, to me and to a lot of people, doesn't mean that you're cruelty-free, although you might be able to say you're cruelty-free, right? So if a brand says they're cruelty-free, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are, or that you might consider them cruelty-free if you're someone that's going cruelty-free. So that's where the big gray area comes in. And if you really are considering going cruelty-free, 2 websites I would highly recommend that have been extremely helpful to me and that I think are the best out there, and I've looked at a lot of them, are Cruelty Free Kitty and Ethical Elephant, and I will link them both down below. They have done the research, they have done the work, they explain everything top to bottom, and they have also questioned a lot of brands, really done the work, and they can tell you if these brands are cruelty-free to their standards and why not. So some of the questions that they ask are, do you as a brand test on animals? Are your ingredients tested on animals? You know, is it somewhere up the chain where it was tested on animals? Do you pay a third party to test on animals? Do your suppliers test on animals? And a big one, are you sold in a country where animal testing is required by law? A lot of these brands, when they ask these questions or when they put it on their website, they say, we don't test on animals, you know, unless we have to, unless it's a law in the country. Well, then you just don't sell in that country, right? If you don't sell in that country, your brand will not, is guaranteed not to be tested on animals. But a lot of the bigger brands, they do. So even if they don't themselves test, if the brand is sold in a country where they test on animals, then the products are tested on animals. Okay, so these are the questions that they ask, and that if you're going cruelty-free, you may want to ask. And it actually gets even more than that, because let's say a brand, all of those things are good. If all of those things are good and they can say, no, we don't pay a third supplier, we don't test our products, there's no ingredients tested, we don't sell in those countries, technically the brand is cruelty-free. Okay, technically the brand is I shouldn't say technically. The brand is cruelty-free. Okay, if you're not testing on animals and you don't have third suppliers and your ingredients aren't, then your brand is cruelty-free. Here's where it gets even grayer. Okay, here's where there's another thing you have to consider. What if the brand is owned by a parent company that tests on animals? That takes into a lot of brands that are cruelty-free. When you think Too Faced, when you think Tarte, when you think these brands that are cruelty-free themselves, but they are owned by one of those big companies, and those big companies test on animals. So then you have to ask yourself that question. Well, am I going to use brands that are cruelty-free but are owned by companies that test on animals, or brands that test on animals? And there's really no right or wrong answer here. There's kind of 2 ways to looking at it, and I went back and forth a little bit. The first thing you can look at is that, say, well, this company is cruelty-free. They've done everything right. They've done everything they're supposed to. I want to support this company. Sometimes, or maybe, you know, most times, it's really not, you know, you can't help who buys you out or who owns you. You know, you're doing what you have to do, and then corporate comes in and they take, you know, you may find your brand owned by, you know, a non-cruelty-free brand. Is that a reason to not support that brand? The other way of looking at it is when you do support that brand, of course you are supporting the parent company. Of course the parent company makes money off that brand. So those are the 2 things that you might want to consider when you are deciding that. And I will tell you right now, when you go cruelty-free, there's a lot of brands that are cruelty-free. When you decide that you're going to go cruelty-free, but you're not going to, you are going cruelty-free, and you're also not going to use brands that are owned by parent companies that test on animals, you are knocking out another big percentage of products. Big percentage. So you may, you know, well, maybe I can't, it kind of goes from, well, maybe I can't use 20% of the brands on the market, so I can't use like 60%. Those are just numbers I'm just like off the top of my head. But it's a big number. So it's a big decision. It's a decision. For me, like I said, I went back and forth with it, and to be honest with you, I knew, like, I kind of knew exactly what I was going to decide, even though I was going back and forth. In the end, I knew I was going to decide I'm not going to use brands that are owned by parent companies that test on animals. I'm just not. So that's what I have decided. So yeah, like I said, just because the company tells you they're cruelty-free, that doesn't really mean they are, and it doesn't mean that they're doing anything wrong either, because there's no regulation. So they may consider themselves cruelty-free, but when you dig, and some of these companies, and it's a lot of brands that I know I love, I went online, I was like, is so-and-so cruelty-free? Yes, we are cruelty-free. And I was like, oh, good, yes, I can use them. And then I did a little digging, and it was like right away I found all kinds of things that, yeah, they're not really cruelty. To me, they're not cruelty-free. So that's what I consider cruelty-free. Guys, do not have a drink every time I say cruelty-free. Don't do it. You know, I consider not only the not finished product, like the brand doesn't only test on animals, but all their suppliers, all the ingredients, no third-party supplier or anything like that, not owned by a company that tests on animals, and not sold in a country where they test on animals. So all of those things have to be met for me to consider them cruelty-free. And it does take a lot of brands off the table. I mean, you have to do your research like any other brands, but if the brand is cruelty-free, completely cruelty-free, I don't see anything wrong with putting a bunny on their product. But yeah, guys, all of these brands, you have to do a little bit of research. That's why I love the websites down below, because some of the research has been done. But there's nothing wrong with reaching out to a brand. I have been doing it myself for the past couple of months, reaching out to brands. Sometimes you get a response, sometimes you don't, sometimes they just shoot back to you whatever is on the website, but at least I tried. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with reaching out to a brand, asking them for their policies. If a brand doesn't have anything to hide, more than likely they're going to be very open to answering your questions. But yeah, so those are the symbols. That's what they mean. Sometimes you'll see a bunny and it's not backed by an organization. You know, just do your research. See if the brand is cruelty-free. If they are, great. If they're not, they're not. They may think they're cruelty-free. Like I said, a lot of brands, in their eyes, they're cruelty-free, but not necessarily, you know, that's what cruelty-free means to me. All of those things. So, with that said, what does that mean for the channel? What are some things you are not going to see on this channel? Let me start with the things you are not going to see on this channel. Okay? Me trying to get you to go cruelty-free. That's the first thing. I don't want you guys to think that I'm here to be like, you know, to try to influence you to go cruelty-free. If I do, that's amazing. But I'm not going to try to do that. Look, I appreciate all of my subscribers, all of my viewers. I love you guys so much, and I respect you. And I am 100% sure that you can all make your own decision. This is my decision. If you are interested in watching me do it or learning more about being cruelty-free, then, you know, that by all means, then you may really like this channel, but that's what it's about. It's about me going cruelty-free. It's not about me trying to get you to do the same. The other thing, and that kind of going hand in hand with that, the other thing that you're not going to see on this channel is me downing brands or talking crap about brands that aren't cruelty-free. Look, I am not going to support these brands anymore. The only thing that I am going to be doing a lot of declutters. This is going to be the declutter channel for the next few months. and you may hear me say, I'm not using this brand because of this or because of that. I will tell you guys why I don't consider them cruelty free, but that's all I'm gonna say. I don't think anything else needs to be said. I'm not gonna support these brands anymore, and I'm not gonna feature them on my channel. The other thing you're not gonna see here is me talking about what is done to animals in these experiments. That information is very freely available on the internet should you choose to research that. We are not getting into that here. And the last thing you are not going to see on this channel is me talking about influencers or beauty YouTubers that aren't cruelty free, because honestly guys, most of them aren't. I'm sure, I haven't really looked too much into it, to be honest with you. I'm sure there's a ton of really amazing cruelty free YouTubers out there, but the ones that I have been watching so far, and they're the big ones, a lot of them are the big ones, they are not cruelty free. They use all kinds of brands, and you know what? It is what it is. Look, here's the thing, and I'm gonna be very real with you guys, very real. A lot of people have you all know that a lot of people have professional YouTube channels, have professional beauty YouTube channels. They make money off YouTube. That is their, you know, that's what keeps the lights on. So I would have to imagine it is not easy for someone to all of a sudden decide their channel is going cruelty free if they're a professional YouTuber, because when you are a professional YouTuber and you decide you're going cruelty free, that takes out a big piece of the pie. And some of you may be really surprised, like, as you know, we go on this journey and I talk to you about the brands that are cruelty free and aren't, you may be very surprised to learn about how many brands are still not cruelty free. And it does, you know, if you have a professional channel where you're making money, all of a sudden 70% of the brands that you used to talk about, used to get PR from, used to do this, used to do that, used to review, you can't talk about anymore. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. And you know, I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm really not. So I'm not here to talk bad about the beauty YouTube community, because some of them are cruelty free, I'm sure, but a lot of them are not. They promote all kinds of makeup and products, and it is what it is. The only thing that I will say from my point of view, I am not supporting these channels anymore. That's me. That's it. What do I mean? Well guys, if you watch my channel, you know I love to watch YouTube. So what do I really mean by that? Do I mean that I'm not going to catch an occasional video? No, I don't mean that. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I might catch an occasional video, but I'm not going to support with merchandise. I used to buy a lot of merchandise from my favorite YouTubers, like merchandise that they would make, like shirts and stuff like that. I used to buy a lot of collabs. You know, they collab with this brand and that brand, and you know, I have to have it. I'm not going to be purchasing collabs. I'm not going to be featuring those collabs on this channel. I am not going to be purchasing merchandise, and I'm probably not going to mention these influencers anymore. But so that's what I mean when I say that. But with that said, I'm just not going to talk about them at all. I don't feel the need to say anything about anyone. So what are we going to do on this channel? What are you going to see on this channel? Well, first of all, guys, like I said, you're going to see a mad amount of declutters, okay? That's another thing I want to bring up really, really quick. So maybe you say, oh, I would love to go cruelty free. I think that's a great idea, and I don't want to use makeup that's tested on animals, but I have such a big collection, I can't just toss it out and start over. And you shouldn't. Okay, you really shouldn't. Don't throw your makeup out, guys, and don't let people tell you to do that either. Here's what you can do, okay? If you decide you're going to go cruelty-free, here's what I would do. You decide what you're going to do with the makeup that you have. Hi! Hi, guys! Okay, guys. So I'm back. Okay, so yeah, so don't let anybody tell you, like, okay, so there are a couple of things that you can do. The first thing that you can do is use up what you have, and then when you're ready to replace your makeup, you buy cruelty free. Look, the makeup that you already have. It's a done deal. It's purchased, it's here, you have it. You may as well use it, right? So if you do decide to go cruelty free, you use what you have and you own something that's not cruelty free, use what you have, and then when you're done, you replace it with something else. That's the first thing you can do. The second thing you can do, you can donate your makeup if you are looking to get rid of it. The problem there is a lot of places don't take used makeup. I know I've had a problem here where I am finding places that take used makeup. It's no problem to find places that take brand new makeup, but finding places to take used makeup has been a bit of a challenge. So, but maybe where you live it's not the case. So you can always donate it. The third thing that you can do is you can sell it. I sell my makeup on Mercari all the time. So that's another option, to sell it. So you either use it, you give it away, or you sell it. Those are the three things you can do. And then when it is time to repurchase, you choose cruelty-free brands. Okay, so you make that decision for yourself. Don't think like, oh yeah, I'm not getting rid of my collection. You shouldn't get rid of your collection. Okay, so for me though, guys, yes, I have decided to declutter my collection. I have a lot of, I just have too much, okay? So I am, for those of you that watch me, I am planning on making this my last year in the attic, and I really, really hope that happens. And so in anticipation of moving and leaving, I do want to declutter a lot that I own, so there's really no better time to do it. So I personally have made that decision. I am going to just declutter for the most part. I might come across a couple of things that I'm just going to use up because I really have nothing else I could do with them. But for the most part, I'm going to be decluttering. So you're going to see a lot of declutters on this channel. Bath products, skin products, hair products, of course, makeup, blush, bronzer, eyeshadow, lipstick. We will be doing another eyeshadow palette declutter before New Year's. We will, because for this reason. So you're going to see a whole lot of declutters, and then after that I'm going to transition into business as usual. I'm still going to do beauty reviews. I'm still going to review different kinds of brands. Only I will be reviewing only cruelty-free brands, and some of these brands you know very well, and some of them may be new because there's a lot of like brands that I've never heard of or that are just kind of unknown. They're not like mainstream. There's a lot of and I'm not talking about like all the little indie eyeshadow brands. Some of those are amazing too, but these are just like brands that just like aren't really popular. I've come across a few that I would like to talk more about on this channel, and yeah, some mainstream brands too. It's just the ones that are not cruelty-free, the ones that are owned by parent companies, I'm just not going to be talking about them. The ones who are, do the paid promotions, of course. Past couple of months, I think we have learned a lot about paid promotions, that they, they are what they are, guys, they're ads. So, yeah, whatever. We're going to be talking about some not so known brands. And still some mainstream brands. I'm still going to be doing my hauls. I'm still going to be trying eyeshadow palettes and foundations and a couple of other things. Also, I'll be giving you some substitutions. Like I'm gonna do a thing on like different bath products that are cruelty-free, makeup that's cruelty-free. We may just go ahead and do a subscription box, guys. We might just do that. Now, I am always talking about how I hate subscription boxes. But there's one reason I always said that I might do a subscription box again. To find new products, to find new brands, to find new things. So maybe, I'm kind of on the fence about that one, but we may somewhere down the line do a subscription box. But anyway, in the beginning, for the most part, a lot of declutters and business as usual, me reviewing products and talking about products, and kind of the same thing I've always done on this channel, except we're going to do it cruelty-free. Yeah, and that's that. Also, by posting once a week, I'm hoping that it gives me more time to do other things on social media. I've been getting better with Instagram, but I am not great. But I'm hoping it frees up some time for that. Twitter and Facebook, guys, I don't know if you've noticed, I don't even post my links anymore because it has been so long since I've been active on those platforms. But I am also hoping to get back into that. Dare I say it, blogging. I haven't blogged in over a year. But maybe I can turn that blog into not just a nickel allergy blog, but also a cruelty-free blog. I don't know. I have it open still. I mean, I have it there still because of the static pages. I know a lot of people find it when they have makeup allergies, but I'm not active on it. I don't know how realistic it is for me to think I'm going to really start blogging again, but maybe. You never know. And yeah, so anyway, those are all the things that you can expect from me on this channel. And like I said, I will be posting a video once a week. In closing, I want to talk to those of you. I know I said I wasn't going to try to influence anybody to go cruelty free, and I am not. I just want to say one little thing. And I'm talking to those of you who feel like, well, you know, what does me going cruelty free do? Really, I'm just one person. But there's power in numbers. So many people have gone cruelty free, guys, and you know what? So many brands have become cruelty free. And why have they become cruelty free? They become cruelty free because they want to make money. Of course, the bottom line is always money. They want to make money, and they want to be able to promote that they are cruelty free. And I'm not saying that brands like don't. I should not say that. Let me take that back. Let me retract that statement. I'm sure there are a lot of brands that do not want to test on animals. I'm sure there are a lot of brands that don't want to test on animals because they don't want to test on animals. But with that said, the real reason, a lot of the reasons that these brands are cruel, are not cruelty free and then become cruelty free is because they want to be able to sell to people that are cruelty free, and they want to be able to make money, and they want to be able to say, hey, look, we are cruelty free. I mean, they want to be able, you know, to do all that. There is a large population, part of the population, that only uses cruelty-free products, and as that population gets bigger, you will see more and more brands that turn. And guys, that's what does it. That's really what does it. The laws in other countries are much more lenient than they used to be. If you look all this up, if you decide to go cruelty-free, you'll see that just a few years ago the laws were a lot stronger on animal testing than they are now. Even in countries where animal testing has to be done by law, there's even laws changing there. And the reason is because they want to be, these brands want to be able to say they're cruelty free. And why do they want to say they're cruelty free? Because they want to be able to sell to that cruelty free population. So the bigger that population gets, the more pressure is put on brands to go cruelty free. Okay? So, would it be a major game changer if like the biggest influencers tomorrow said, hey, I'm cruelty free and I'm not using this brand and I'm not using this brand? Yeah, probably. But everybody counts. Guys, I count, you count. So if you were thinking of going cruelty free and that's the only thing that's holding you back, then I would encourage you to rethink it, because populations of people who decide to stand up and do something does change the world. That is the only thing that changes the world. That is a saying. That is a quote. That is not my quote. I can't remember who said it, and I am not quoting it word for word, but there is a quote like that out there, and it's 100% true. It's like a famous quote. It's like a famous quote. But yeah, so yeah, I didn't make that up. But yeah, guys, that is the only thing that's the only thing that changes anything. So never think that by you not going cruelty free, that's not going to do anything. That is not true. All right, guys, I think I have spoken all I can. Well, now you guys know I can go on and on and on, but I'm going to stop it here. I want to thank you so much for joining me. If you liked the video, I hope you will give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Follow me over at Instagram at Kimmie Teresa. I am trying to get more active over there. And yeah, guys, until next week. I will say next week, because like I said, I'm going to start posting once a week. I want to thank you so much for joining me, and until next week, and as always, please take good care of yourselves so you can take care of someone else. And for those of you that celebrate it, I hope you have a very, very happy Easter. I believe it is coming up this Sunday, right? It is this Sunday. Yeah, it's this Sunday. Yes, it's this Sunday. So for those of you that celebrate it, you know what? For you guys that celebrate it, I'm going to put the ears back on. How's that? What do you think of that? Okay, guys. So for those of you that celebrate Easter, have a very, very happy Easter. And for everybody, until next week, have a good one. Take good care of yourselves so you can take care of someone else. I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.